Okay, I think we're
There
live.
it is.
Hi, everyone. I don't know if anyone is here yet. Probably not, but
Yeah, we can give it a minute to let people
yeah,
file in. If you want, we can talk about what we plan on reading.
yeah, that's a great idea. Let's start with that. So, welcome, Katie. What's on your TBR for today?
I am reading Drunk, How We Sipped, Danced, and Stumbled Our Way to Civilization.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I don't even really drink, but I think it'll be interesting, like insight into
Yeah,
why it's such a pervasive cultural thing.
that sounds really cool. I've got
Yeah,
a
I
couple
hope
books
it's good.
about alcohol that I'm reading starting like next week, and this one sounds better, possibly. I don't know.
See, what's funny
We'll
is I
see.
didn't even think about like this fitting into the book buffet theme because I thought food, not drink, but like it's in the same category. And so like I saw you put a book about alcohol in your TBR or something like that, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh hey, I can do that.
Awesome. I'm working on Accidentally Engaged, which is a
Mm.
contemporary romance. And so far, like, I should have known it was going to be great because everyone loves this book. But I was still surprised. Why do I do this?
Well, just because everybody else likes it doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna
Exactly.
be your cup of tea. I've been like yearning for good just like fluffy, more romancy type books. But like, I just can't. I don't know. This is like August and November are like nonfiction months for me
Hmm.
because of well the History Challenge and then
Yeah,
nonfiction November. So maybe in September that's what I'll do. Middle grade and romance. That's it.
nice. Good plan. I'm really optimistic about this one because I've been like kind of slumpy. Not in I don't want to
Mm.
read, like I just want to read fan fiction,
Oh, okay.
not any actual books. I'm like, contemporary romance, that's got to be kind of fan fiction-y, right? Like we're gonna get the like just fun relationship,
Yeah, it should be the
cuteness.
same vibes, I think.
Yeah. So I think yeah, hopefully it'll go well. We'll see.
Oh, yeah. Is that like have any food themes in it, or is it just like a food book
Yeah.
you're reading?
Yeah, it is. It's about a woman who's like fairly conservative Muslim family keeps trying to set her up for like an arranged marriage. And she doesn't want to have an arranged marriage. She just wants to make sourdough and be left alone.
Oh,
Uh,
fair.
and of course, you know, she meets and starts falling for the guy that they're trying to set her up with. But like, she's now like, well, fuck, my parents want me to get with this guy. I can't. Clearly, he's amazing, but like, I can't give in.
Right.
So now gotta pair up for a food cooking show competition thing that like actually was explained better than I expected.
Okay.
So that's
That's
good.
funny. That reminds me of like Gilmore Girls and Lane, her like very Korean mother has specific ideas for who she can marry, and she meets a guy who fits those ideals, and she's like, "Well, no, because if my parents approve, then I don't want him anymore."
Is
And that is like
exactly
so
that.
typically like rebellious teenager behavior. It's just if my parents
Yeah.
like it, then I can't. But yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
That's good that it's being explained well, though, because
It
I
is.
sometimes, especially like when the romance is the main focus, other elements kind of get they just
Yeah.
yeah. And I understand that from like an authorial point of view, like that's not your main driver, but like also give me something more to bite my teeth into than just. I think that's why I don't read a lot of romance. Although I have been interested in reading the Evie Dunmore books because I think they're nice and
Yeah.
fluffy, and like that's all I want.
That's fair. I don't know how I felt about the first one of those.
Hmm.
It was one of those books that I think if I had just read it and like not thought about it, I would have been like, yeah, that's a cute 3.5, 4-star read. But then I did it as a buddy read and discussing it, I was like, oh no, oh no.
You're ruining it.
Yeah, a little. Um,
Oh.
so I don't know. This one so far I'm like really liking because it's, it's clearly going to be a romance novel, but
Right.
there's like other stuff going on in this protagonist's life that I'm interested in and that are related to the story. It feels like this is like, this makes sense as something that someone would do, and these are behaviors that make sense to me. I think that's something I struggle with sometimes. It's just the feeling of like,
Yeah.
Really? What?
And
Huh?
I can see that being a thing in like Evie Dunmore books because of the time and place they're set in. You can be like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't, but I don't think that's the point. I think they're just meant to be like fun in a setting that people just enjoy because Downton Abbey was a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like people like that
Oh, for
historical
sure.
setting now. But have you read With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo?
I have.
I really enjoyed that because it was the same thing where like they took like real world things, but then they also had different aspects to it, right? And they made sense the way the character like interacted. I don't know if you've ever listened to anything by Elizabeth Acevedo on audiobook.
I want to though, because I've heard that it's amazing.
Incredible. Like her voice, one, is just excellent. And two, it's almost like not like she's singing it to you, but just the rhythm of her voice and the way she said,
Yeah,
it's excellent.
I really want to read some of her other stuff, and I think I want to do it on audio because I liked With the Fire on High. It was like it's a good book. I enjoyed reading it. I was engaged,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it was just a bit. I don't want to say young because it's not that it's super young, but just like I wasn't in a YA mindset at all.
Okay.
But I think from everything I've heard, the narration would totally make up for that with me because I have
That's
I
how I
can't
did
get
it.
over authors who narrate their own stuff and do it so well.
Yeah, I listened to it on audiobook and it blew my mind. Ugh. And then like, I don't know, it's interesting because so my husband is Black and he's from
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia and like, a lot of the way that the main character in that book like grew up where like food was a thing and whatever else, like a lot of times I come to him with like depictions of that. I'm like, is this how this is when you live in like minority communities in a big city? And like it always makes me happy when he's like, "Oh yeah, we used to do this," and then I get stories from him about like black parties and like random stuff. So I always find that fun. I read I don't know what it's called now by Elizabeth Acevedo. It's the one where there's two sisters, they share a father, but they don't know they share a
Oh,
father until he dies.
Clap When You Land or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
I think I just read it in June too, so I don't know how I forgot already, but that one was really good. That one was heartbreaking. I think so that one like most people have like a father, right? They grow up with a
Mhm.
dad in some capacity, whether he's actually, oh, hi mommy. That's fine. That's my mom. She loves
Hi,
me.
Katie's mom.
But like in With the Fire on High, like having a child as a teenager, like not everybody can relate to that. And since you aren't really keen on having kids, period,
Hmm.
I could see that being a little bit of a disconnect there.
Yeah. It was an interesting story. I'm glad I
Mhm.
read it, but it wasn't. I get the impression that when Clap When You Land is the type of story that I think I would like more based on like the, interpersonal stuff, the
Mhm.
family that we don't know is family. Not because I
Yeah.
relate to that, but just based on other books I've liked recently, I think that one
Yeah.
sounds really
It's
cool.
it's like grief, but then also realizing that your parents aren't who you thought they were and like that they had a life before you and then trying to deal with the fallout of that. Um, Surprisingly complex. Like Look, this is gonna sound maybe bad. I don't find most YA to be very complex.
That's
But
fair.
I don't think it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be for teenagers who are still learning their way through the world. So I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
feel like
no,
I'm
that
being
makes
judgy
sense.
by saying that. I feel like I'm being just factual.
I feel like YA is one of those things where every time I read one, I just have to go, I'm evaluating this from my perspective, not how I would have reacted to this 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I'm not the audience.
Yeah.
I'm not a
I'm not
teenager.
the
I'm not
intended.
going through
Yeah.
those things now.
Yeah.
So my reaction is sort of beside the point. It's
Yeah.
more,
That's
what
true.
does this say to someone who's actually at that age?
Yeah. And I don't know. Like my mom said it's hard to visualize life before kids. Uh And that's kind of like, for me, it's hard to visualize what life was like as a teenager as far as how I would feel or how I would process things. So, like, that was something when I was reading The Revolution of Marina M. I was getting so frustrated with her, but then I started thinking and I was like, I was exactly like this as a teenager.
Right.
And so, like, it's not, I don't think I should be judging her character that harshly because that's just what it's like to be 16. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, looking back, I know the things I thought and did, but I can't connect to why I thought those anymore. Or
and
like,
I think that's the whole thing. There wasn't really a reason. Our brains don't really function that well. It's just,
that's
like,
true.
seemed like a good idea at the time. To be clear to people watching, The Revolution of Marina M is not YA, not even a little bit YA. No.
Okay.
There are some very upsetting and disturbing events.
That's
Just
one of those books that I've been like, everyone says it's amazing, and I feel like I should read it.
it's so
But then I think
long,
about how
so
big it is. I'm like, oh no.
so it took me about 200 pages to really get invested, and part of it was because Marina was annoying, and I thought,
Mm,
like, having it from the point of view of her friends, either one of them, would have been infinitely more interesting, but as it gets going, it's like, no, this was the perfect choice. The author nailed it, and she's just Janet Fitch
okay.
is so skilled. So skilled. I'm reading the sequel to it right now, and, like, I don't cry in books, but I almost cried during this one bit because I was
Okay.
like, "No, no, this can't be happening."
All
Hmm.
right. That is a compelling reason to pick it up at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, it's one
Probably
of
in
those,
3 years for me when everyone else has already read it and is over it, and I'll finally get around to it.
yeah, but, like, it's you dedicate time to it, but it was funny because, like, once I got through those 200 pages, I think I read it in, like, 2 days after that, which is it's an
Okay.
800-page book, so 600 pages in 2 days is pretty singing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm reading the sequel to it right now, and, it's taking me a little longer, but mostly because I can't deal and I have to put it down.
I find that hard sometimes. Like, I want to read this. I know if I make myself read it, I'm going to like it.
Mhm.
But also, I just don't want to feel the things that it's going to make me feel right now.
Yes, I can't, like, well, because the first, I mean, do you know the basic plot line?
Roughly,
Okay,
poetry, Russian Revolution, teenager
yes.
who's
So, it's Russia,
involved.
like, 1917 in the first book, and she's a poet, and she gets involved with these revolutionary poets, and then, like, basically she ends up, like, losing everything, like, her family, like, it's not so much she's deserting them, it's they're also deserting her.
Right.
And you get to, like, follow her through falling in love for the first time and things like that, and then in the second book, it's during the Russian Civil War, so, like, it's hard to find
Okay.
housing, food is scarce, she's starting, like, in the first book, she was starting to realize that maybe, like, this revolution wasn't everything she thought it was
Hmm.
going to be, and that the people she had held on this pedestal were maybe not what she thought they were, and, like, it's
I
rough.
Yeah.
It's really rough, but So good. If this author like wants to write more books from the point of view of her friends in the character, her friends like and stuff like that, I would totally read more.
I mean, that's always a promising sign, right? When it's heroin, but you're still like, I want more of this.
Yeah, because she has like in the beginning, it's like her and her two best friends, and one is more like the intellectual type. She's gonna go to university and she's gonna be a scientist, and the other is the revolutionary type, and she's like gung ho, always out there handing out pamphlets and whatever else. And then you kind of Marina's life intersects with theirs periodically, and you see like where they're going in each respective thing. And I just think it'd be so interesting to see what they're doing when Marina isn't around. So anyway,
Yeah, that would be cool.
that. I'm on a Russia kick right now. Okay, I just finished Catherine the Great. I'm about to read Stalin's Meteorologist. It's a thing.
I get that. I get it.
Yeah, I'm just binging right now. I don't know.
Nice.
It'll be different next month, I'm sure.
I keep telling myself that next month I'm going to take a break from a TBR or something, just like chill out, just read whatever I want. And then I go, oh, you'll read whatever you want. And my brain goes, oh, here's like 15 things you're going to read next month. I'm like, stop.
September was supposed to be my mood reading month. And I was like, I'm just going to mood read in September. But then I was like, okay, I have this Goodreads Choice Awards challenge that I'm trying to do with myself. And I have a few more books I have to finish from there. I have a couple books that I won in Goodreads giveaways that I want to get read. And so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books sitting on a TBR for September that I was supposed to be mood reading.
Yeah, not quite that extreme because I don't have anything I think I have to read, although I should check NetGalley because I probably
10.
do.
I have a NetGalley book that I have to have something. It doesn't, they don't want me posting anything until 2 weeks before the release date, so I have until like up till like the middle of September, I think. So
yeah. Booktube, so many good books, but also so many things where I'm like, oh, but I need to do that. I need to do that. And that looks fun.
No, it's stressful. That's why I'm doing this trash my TBR thing, that way I feel like if people express interest in any particular book, I'll prioritize it. And if people are like, nah, then maybe I'll just get rid of stuff.
That's a good plan.
A box and a half of books sitting downstairs that need to be taken to donate somewhere. So I would like to fill up that half box before.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
When we moved back in the spring, I took not that many. I think I unhauled like maybe, I don't even know now how many. It wasn't even that many, but I unhauled them all and I was like, oh, I'll donate all of these before we move because that would make sense. They're sitting in the basement now.
Okay, so when we moved into this house, I had 2 boxes of books that I was supposed to donate before we moved, but nobody was taking donations because COVID.
Oh.
So they sat in my house and I just kept adding more. So finally, I think like 2 months ago, so a year after we moved into this house, I finally took them to donate. In my defense, okay, COVID was a thing.
Yeah,
and I tore my ACL, and then I had to have surgery. So like, it's okay.
Absolutely. I have no excuses. I just have been lazy.
It's one of those things where like when you're moving, there are so many other things that you're trying to do that you're like, do I really want to deal with this right now? No, I don't.
Exactly. There's a little free library a few blocks away from where we live now, and I'm kind of tempted to just like every week take like 2 books and just slowly put them all in the little free library.
Yes. Our
I don't want to put them all at once.
Supposed to be building a park, and I want to talk to the HOA and see if I can put a little free library up in there because I think it'd be cute.
That would be cute.
Yeah. We'll see if I ever do it.
Fair.
I know you have been, Mom. I'm very proud of you. You and Dad both have been like really reading a lot, and I feel like I'm an inspiration.
I bet you are. Pretty inspirational person.
Thank you to my parents, inspirational parents, the people who gave me life. Oh, Mom, tell Dad I finished In the Kingdom of Ice, and I'll call him sometime and talk to him about it. That was the book I was telling you about where everybody dies.
Right.
Well, not everybody, but like it was one of those, I was under the impression that like they all make it out alive, and then oh, I am the inspiration. I love you, Mommy. I have the cutest mother in the world.
You definitely do. I can say that because I know my mom won't watch this. My sister might, but
oh my god. When I started my channel, like I told my mom, and like I didn't even tell anybody else, and she's telling like everybody, like, look what Katie's doing, look what Katie's doing. And like half my subscribers are people she works with.
Oh, that's really cute.
And it's like, I feel like I need to buy them all Christmas gifts now or something. It's pretty cute. Oh man, it's funny. I kind of like want to go visit just so I can meet these people now.
Oh yeah, that'd be cute.
It's a very long trip though, and I don't want to. I have no interest in being in airports right now.
Yeah, same. I'm maybe flying in September. We'll see. Go see my partner's family, and I'm just like, he's driving. We're going for different lengths of time, and I'm like, I booked the refundable ticket because I'm just like,
just in case. Where does his family live? Are they like that far away from you? Are they still in Canada at least?
Yeah. They live in Southern Ontario, which is about a 9-hour drive from where we live.
Okay, I know.
But he's going down
Ontario.
Actually, you're from Detroit, right?
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah, he's from just a bit north of Windsor, so like really close to that part of Canada. So it's like only a 9-hour drive, but he's going to drive down for like 3 weeks, and I'm going down for a long weekend.
9-hour drive.
Yeah.
That's like when people think we're just going to go to Los Angeles, and I'm like, you understand this is going to be like a couple days thing, because this is still an 8-hour drive. Either that or we need to fly.
Exactly.
Oh. That's funny. I always think it's hilarious. There was this YouTuber. How to Cake It. Yolanda Gamp is her name.
Okay, yeah.
She and then Nailogical, I think, simply Nailogical. Yes. People were like, oh, you both live in Canada. You guys should do videos together. She's like, you don't understand how big Canada is. She was like, it's not like because we live in Canada, we can just go next door. Like, it doesn't work that way. She said, we are on opposite sides of the country. And I was like, that is hilarious.
I should pitch a collab with Simply Nailogical because she is like my absolute idol. So I work for the federal government in Canada, and so does she.
Ah.
And
she actually had an actual job. I just assumed she was just doing the stuff.
That's part of why she's like my favorite thing is like she's like a huge YouTuber, and she still has like a day job as an analyst with the government.
Wow.
Right? And I'm just like, I'm wearing some of her nail polish now because I'm just like, I'm such a fangirl.
No, I'm not Canadian, but I grew up in Michigan, so I'm almost Canadian.
Yeah, fair. Should we maybe start a first sprint?
I was thinking so. It's it's almost been 30 minutes. Gotcha.
I should have figured out how to put like a timer up or something, but I didn't, and I'm not going to try and do that live. So I'm just going to put a banner. Let's do maybe 25 minutes to start.
That works.
Okay, so
I think that's mostly what people do. Is they just put up a banner. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this will.
Yeah. All right, Mama. Goodbye. I will see you later.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, okay. I can't do the dust jacket. Sorry, guys.
Fair. I'm gonna put myself on mute because otherwise I might go. I'm sure that'll be very distracting.
Amy, you just read.
Yeah.
You just read till 150. Ooh, beach. I'm jealous. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. See you soon. All right. This is the part of reading sprints I'm always really bad at because somehow it's always like halfway through a chapter.
Yes. In my like personal reading life, I always have to end either at the end of a chapter, or if I'm pressed for time, I will end on the left page. It always has to be the left page because otherwise
Okay.
I'm that person who parks in the same exact spot in the parking lot every time too.
Yeah. I always get so mad when I go to the grocery store and there's someone in my spot.
Like, how dare you?
Excuse me, don't you know that I'm always here on Thursday at 5:30?
I'm gonna put a placard up.
Yes. What's it called? Drunk, right?
It is called Drunk, How We Sipped, Danced, and Stumbled Our Way to Civilization, for those curious. And it is very funny. I would like to read to you the introduction sentence.
Please
However,
do.
if there are children in the room, you might want to mute it. I'm not sure how free-spirited some people are. All right, you've had your warning. 3, 2, 1. People like to masturbate. They also like to get drunk and eat Twinkies. Not typically all at the same time, but that's a matter of personal preference.
Okay, like I have to open a new tab immediately and put this on my TBR because
I was like, I don't know what to do with this.
I need to read this book, clearly.
Oh, it's very funny. His main point so far is that evolution works faster than people think, and if getting drunk were like a negative, like a vice, evolution would have filtered it out by now, but since it's been like thousands and thousands of years and we're still doing it, that there must be a reason.
I like it.
I was just like, that's the first sentence. Okay.
That is fantastic.
I was like, I can't disagree with any of this either. Oh my god, it was funny. But yeah, I didn't get very far. Let's see. Well, I didn't do too bad. I got 17 pages in.
Nice.
I find I always read slow when like we're doing reading sprints, and I think it's because like I'm paying attention to the time and I know there's people watching me and it's a little weird.
I know, I kept feeling like, what's my face doing?
Okay, so I was just talking about this the other day with the wearing face masks. I don't think I know how to hold my face anymore. Like I'm pretty sure I just walk around my mouth open all the time, and I'm afraid that when I stop wearing it, I'm just gonna be like mouth breathing all over everything.
Problem. Also, all the little like you can sort of like make the snarky comments to yourself because it's all covered, so no one sees you. Oh my God. The whole time, and then eventually we won't wear them, and people are gonna be like,
"Yeah." So my little sister works at Target, and she loves having the face mask on because she's like, I can make all sorts of faces, and people don't even know as long as I keep my eyebrows still.
Amazing.
Oh man. Okay, see, I'm not the only one. Amy's the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
This is where I park. Go away.
Mm-hmm. I've got my whole thing like it's planned. It's the right spot.
Yes. And what usually I park like in my grandma told me years ago that the best way to like maintain weight, right, is to park in the back of the parking lot. Now my mom says it's just because grandma gets scared when that's definitely James. You can probably hear him.
That's okay.
She said that like grandma's just scared and she doesn't like to park near people. But I took that to heart and I always park in the back of the lot and I walk. And I'm like, why are you back here?
So I'm totally stealing your grandma's excuse because I always park at the back of the lot because I'm terrible at parking. Like I drive a tiny car and like I always end up just like randomly like, this is awful. So I figure if I park at the back, at
It
least like
doesn't
there's less
matter.
people around
Yes.
and I'm less likely to inconvenience someone.
It's like when you see people and they drive big trucks and they park right in the front of the lot and they take up 2 spaces, and I'm like, either learn how to park or go park in the back.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's really funny. But yeah. So
Yeah.
how was your section that you read? Is it still engaging?
It's good. So for everyone who's just joining us, I'm reading Accidentally Engaged by Farah Heron. This is a contemporary romance with cooking show. And it is, I might have been a little bit under the influence when I started it the other evening. So I was kind of worried that I was going to start reading now and like it wasn't going to be as good. But oh my goodness, it is hilarious. And also had the like most strangely adorable description of a foot fetish that I have ever seen.
I don't think I've ever heard that said. Like,
No,
how?
it was
I'm
so,
confused.
it was just so very like sweet and tender and like not weird. It was
Oh
just
my god.
like
That
okay, this
that's
guy's
nice.
really into bread and feet, and he's not afraid to tell people.
I have had one guy be weird about feet, but he wasn't even weird about them. Like, he just wanted to wash my feet, and I was like,
Huh.
okay, I guess. Like, I didn't really know how to process that,
Yeah, that's fair.
but like, I guess it was sweet and like tender. I don't know. Now that you say that, I don't. I don't. Now I'm just thinking about it, and it was a very weird experience. I don't even like to touch my own feet. So
Yeah, I'm always like, I don't know, I'm tall, so I've got like fairly big feet. And I'm always
mm.
just like, they look just like I don't hate them, but I'm just like, they're not cute feet, right?
I got my dad's feet. They're like my little sister. She has very small feet. She has like almost like Barbie feet, where I'm like, how are you? Like, how are they holding you up? And then my mom is like smaller feet than me, and I'm like, how do I have? But then my older sister, she has bigger feet than me somehow, and I'm like, how is this? How is this? But yeah, my feet are hideous. Sorry, Dad. They're gross. I actually won an award. I was at this it was like this big old slumber party with our youth group, and they were doing like stupid awards, and I won ugliest foot. And I was probably like 9 years old, and it was kind of traumatizing to me. They said I
Yeah.
had monkey toes.
Oh my God, that's so cruel.
I know. I was a little sad, but you know what? It's been really easy to like pick things up off the floor and stuff my entire life, so I guess.
I'm never sure if my brother has monkey toes or like or just his feet are so big because he's a really big guy.
Mm.
But let me tell you, size men's size 13 platform heels. Now that is a big ass shoe.
Wow.
Yeah.
'Cause my husband wears a size 13, but like I've only ever seen his sneakers. I've never seen like
They're yeah. I always feel like my shoes look really, really big until I go home to my parents' house because both my siblings have bigger feet, and I'm like,
I
okay, no.
feel like I could totally just store my shoes inside of his.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's really funny.
A lot of foot hate in the comment, which
That's fine.
yeah,
I don't like feet either. I think it's weird.
yeah, like I'm not super grossed out by them, but I'm also not about
They're
to be
not like
like,
my favorite
ooh,
thing in the world. I just like
yeah.
usually, they're in shoes, so they have that funky smell, and like toenails are
Hmm.
ugly, and like I don't know.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna self-promote for a second, scroll up a bit. Lana is working on graphics for another live that we're probably gonna do next weekend. So
Fun.
if you would like to see more Lord of the Rings cooking, anyone, keep an eye out for that. And of course, make sure you guys follow Lana. I talk about her all the time, but
That's funny.
you know,
I don't even really care about Lord of the Rings. Like, I've tried to watch the movies and I fall asleep every single time. Uh, so I feel like the books are maybe not going to be any better.
yeah.
Um, but like just the idea of the cook along aspect, that sounds fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, they're
I think that'd be
fun. They're
fun.
really fun to do. Yes, Amy. These kids were clearly so mean.
Okay, so here's the thing. It wasn't kids, it was the leader of the youth group. It was
Oh my
his
God.
wife. It was a grown ass adult.
What? Like, as someone who hasn't had that much exposure to really Christian people, this is not doing anything to dispel any stereotypes I have.
No, no, it was weird. We also used to go out and like toilet paper people's houses, which now looking back, I'm like, what? What? That's like horrible. What
I
is
am
wrong with these people?
so
It was the middle of nowhere. We were bored since we were religious. We weren't allowed to smoke weed, so we had to do something.
right. Fair.
But like, I was like, what is happening right now? Why is this a thing? Because like that's like vandalism. I don't think that's legal.
Oh.
Oh, it's okay. I'm not traumatized. I don't think.
You seem pretty stable from what I've seen, so
I'm on medication.
that works. If you can't make your own stability, you can buy store-bought.
Exactly.
Right?
I have a cross stitch project that I'm working on. It says if you can't make your own serotonin, store bought is fine. And
I love it.
oh, I also have one that says please don't do coke in my bathroom.
This is exactly the sort of cross-stitch project I need to do, clearly. Because, yes.
Yeah. People used to make fun of me. They were like, cross stitch, isn't that like an old lady thing? I was like, not the way I do it.
No, I was a weird kid. I went through a cross-stitch phase when I was like 8, and I haven't done it since. But like hearing you talk about those projects, I'm like, yeah,
It's
I
fun.
could do
It's just
that.
fun to do with your hands. I don't know. You
Yeah.
can use like fun colors. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing one for a friend's birthday right now. And I'm doing like flowers. I love stitching flowers. I don't know why. They're just so much fun.
Okay.
But then I also stitched Yoda with Beats headphones on. I don't know.
Oh, it sounds so cute.
It is pretty cute. I gave it to my brother for his birthday. It's
Is
on a
it
pillow.
just like the crosses, or are there like extra stitches you do when you're like an advanced cross stitcher?
I pretty much just do like the little X's. I can do the
Okay.
other stitching. I just don't care. I usually like frame them and stuff, so the flatter I can have it, the better.
Mm,
Although I've been experimenting with throw pillows and tote bags recently.
fun.
Yeah, it's all right.
Actually, that reminds me, I've got my partner's so cute. He loves doing craft projects. So for his birthday,
Oh,
I got him cross stitch kits that we are going to do together, and like we should actually do those. Birthday was like months ago. We should really
that's cute.
take some
That's
time to,
really cute.
yeah.
That's what I do when I listen to audiobooks. Although I actually watched a movie the other day.
Nice.
Watched Brave because
Oh, like the Pixar one?
yeah.
I've actually never seen that.
Oh, it's so cute. Merida's like the little redheaded princess of my dreams. Uh, oh, but yeah, no, we did that. I did that. Yeah, was it yesterday or Friday? I can't remember. I don't know what day it is. It's fine.
What even is time? It's
My mom used to tell me that. She was like, the older you get, the more time moves. Like, things seem slow now, but trust me, it goes fast. And I was like, yeah, right. And now I'm like, whoa.
mm-hmm. I swear the 2 weeks before summer vacation when I was in grade 4 was longer than this entire summer has been. Like
Yeah.
those 2 weeks must have lasted about a year, and this summer is just like, I'm sorry, it's August? It's halfway through. What?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand. Okay, thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like, things come around.
Mm-hmm.
I crochet, or used to, but like when you're making blankets and stuff and you live in California, like the last thing I want is yarn sitting on my body. But I did it in Michigan all the time.
I'm really good at starting knitting projects and then never continuing them.
Mm.
I've been working on a pillowcase for like literally close to 3 years now because I was like, it'll be great. I'll just knit a new cover for this throw pillow that I don't like. And then I realized I don't like actually knitting things.
No, I have a girl I went to basic training with, and she has her own Etsy shop where like she knits cute little tops and hats and scarves. She knits like little strappy tops and stuff like for summer, and I'm like, those are so cute. I just could never.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like the two needles confuses me. I can do the one.
I'm
But
just,
not.
yeah, I'm not fast enough or patient enough. I think if I could if I could be fast and actually get through stuff, I'd be good. Or if I
Yeah.
could just be patient about the fact that this is going to take me like 100 hours to do something.
That's another cross stitch project I have. It says proof that I have enough patience to stab things 1,000 times or something like that.
Love it. Do you get the patterns like off Etsy or stuff, or where do you get them?
Sometimes I make my own. Some of them I get off Etsy. Some of them you can find on Pinterest for free.
Cool.
And then other times, like, and this is probably bad, I'll just see people post a project that they did, and depending on the size of it, I can just copy it onto my own paper and just knit it or stitch it freehand like that.
I mean, I think as long as you're not selling it, right?
I think that's the whole thing. If it's for like private
deal.
use, it's not a big deal. And I could never sell it. Oh my God. So the thing is, it takes me so much time and so much energy that the only way I could sell it would be if I got enough money for my time, and there's nobody would buy it for that. So
yeah,
a labor of love thing. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my life. I don't know what anybody else does. But sorry, I'm trying to catch up on the comments.
Yeah. Trying to be brave, very quotable. Okay. Clearly I should watch it.
I like just Pixar and Disney in general. I want to watch The Princess and the Frog because I haven't seen that in many a year.
Which one is that?
Tiana. She's the only black princess.
Right. Another one I haven't seen.
Yeah. And then I watch Mulan all the time. Mulan is probably my favorite one.
Mulan and Belle were tied for my favorite when I was a kid.
I love Belle too, but more I like The Library, I think, than anything.
Yeah.
She was like bookish but still beautiful, and it was like, yay.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot beat the soundtrack for Mulan. You just can't.
That's true. It is a great soundtrack.
Yep. My sister and I, when she was living with me, we'd watch it and just like sing. It was probably embarrassing, but we had fun.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah. I find crochet to be way easier than knitting. And that's okay that you can't do anything crafty, because aren't you like really smart? Don't you like teach people? Mm-hmm. So I think you're fine. I mean, that's the vibe I've been getting from your videos, is that you're very intelligent. So
frankly, the fact that she is so capable of just talking while doing other stuff, I'm like, how? How are you paying attention to both things at once? I'm like I start talking and everything else just freezes.
Yeah. Or if people are talking to me, I'm like, you have to wait until I finish this. And then I'm like, okay, now speak.
Yeah.
Because I can't respond. I cannot formulate a response if I'm like doing stuff. It's okay. We all have our things.
We do.
Yeah. What time is it? 11:10.
Should we
for like 20 minutes?
Yeah, should we do another sprint and then we can chat to finish it out?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, maybe half an hour this time until like.
Yeah. Hey, Amy, what are you reading? Or are you using this as like a productivity thing? So that's been a thing people are doing, like productivity sprints instead of reading sprints. So they like, which is actually really smart if you think about it.
Yeah.
Is she typing? I don't know. I can't
I
see.
don't know.
I don't know how StreamYard works at all.
I I have learned a lot more today than I have in all of
See,
my
I
past.
I need to learn because I should probably do a live stream at some point on my channel. I'm just scared.
Yeah. I was a little nervous. I had this moment before we started where I was like, oh my God, what if we sit here for 2 hours and nobody comes? This is like all of my childhood birthday party fears, but on the
Yes.
internet.
That's why I'm scared to do it because I'm like, what if nobody shows up? But I guess realistically, we could just talk for 2 hours.
Oh, for sure.
Big fan of the show. Dildo Gaggins, he's real.
Yeah.
Look at that. Popular
Yeah.
enough to get a bot. Okay. Yeah, ADHD will do it. That's another thing I'm worried about. Like, if I get weirdos, I don't know if I know how to block them and stuff. I'm sure it
I
can't be
guess I
that
should
hard.
actually block that. Yeah, block user. Okay. We don't need the porn bots. No
Hey.
thank you.
I was like, that comment doesn't make any sense. And then I read the name and I was like, it's not supposed to. Okay. Book in hand.
All right. Excellent.
Parable of the Talents. Next time we're done reading, you're gonna have to tell
Yes.
us about
Better
that.
stick around, Amy, because we need to hear more about
Yeah.
this.
Oh, I guess I can mute myself. I keep forgetting.
Okay. How does reading time go so fast, but then also talking time goes so fast? I totally get how people do like 5-hour reading sprints now.
Oh yeah. You don't even realize it's happening.
Yeah.
Unless your headphones die. And then you're like, oh wow, I guess it has been a while.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm enjoying this book though.
Good.
I think it's
Good.
gonna be easier to finish than I thought. And it also fits in with the history challenge stuff, so I can totally just keep reading it.
Nice.
Let's see. I don't even know how long it is. There's a lot of notes and stuff in the back, so
I love reading nonfiction.
291. So actually this won't be too bad to read.
Nice.
It seems a lot longer. Okay, Parable of the Talents.
Yes,
No.
Amy, please tell us more. This sounds super interesting.
I think she's having like lagging issues, so we'll just chit chat until that comes through.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I got like 18 pages or something there. It's not going too bad. I don't think it's quite as quick a read as Sweet Spot was. Oh, there it is. But this also is like just different. It's like a different nonfiction. I love this cover. I almost want to like frame it because it's so bright and cheerful.
It's such a nice cover.
Oh, but yeah.
Yeah, mine's going well as well. I don't know how many pages I read, but
I think that's hard to keep track of when you.
It really is. But it's got really like short, quick chapters, which I always like that, right? It's like so nice to be like, oh, I read 4 chapters. Okay, it was like probably 20 pages.
Yeah. That's how Ruta Shapiris, she writes like YA historical fiction. She is, I believe she's like of Lithuanian descent, so most of her stuff is more set in Eastern Europe, where you're talking like Poland, Lithuania, stuff like that. So you get like different sides of World War II or whatever she's actually talking about. But her chapters are really short, and I find that like I'm just done with the book all of a sudden because I'm like, I'll just read one more chapter. I'll just read one more chapter.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know what it is about certain writing, but this one I don't notice when I finish a chapter. I'm like, oh man, I've been reading this chapter for ages, and I look, it's like, oh, that's because I'm 3 chapters later. But I'm just like,
yeah, it's just seamless. You just keep going. Yeah, that's good though. I like that type of writing style. I think like you don't get that so much when you read nonfiction.
No,
especially if it's dry. That's why I enjoy audiobooks for nonfiction so much. I know it doesn't work for everyone, but I just
no, I love audiobooks for nonfiction. I think also the narrator is less important with nonfiction.
It definitely is.
I'm listening to a book called Frying Plantain right now, which short story, well, I never know how to call it a short story collection or a novel in fragments, if that makes sense. Like it's all about one person, but it doesn't follow like one chapter from the next. It's sort of like, oh, now she's 10 and now she's 15 and that sort of thing. And I think I would love it if I was reading the actual book, and I'm almost thinking I might need to pick it up because the narrator just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like that's the case so much with nonfiction.
Yeah, Northanger Abbey. I don't think I'll ever read that book because I was listening to it on audio and the narrator was so bad that it was like 2 years ago and I still get mad when I think about it and then I want nothing to do with it now. And like it's the narrator's fault.
Yeah.
I
have one narrator that I love for Jane Austen, and now I don't even try anything else. I'm just like, I know I'm gonna like yours, so I'm gonna read those.
Yeah, that's smart.
And Amy says, oh, here, let's show this one first. It's the sequel to Parable. Okay, so it is an Octavia Butler. That's who does, right?
I love her.
I'm kind of afraid to read her for exactly this reason. So Amy says Parable of the Sword takes place in 2026, and it's eerily close to what's happening in our world right now. And I'm just like,
Okay,
That
so
sounds like
then
anxiety attacks.
read the Xenogenesis trilogy or Lilith's Brood or whatever the hell it's called. It starts with Dawn because that's like it's sci-fi and it's really really good, but it's not like following closely to anything that's happening in our world.
Okay.
It's sci-fi that's very removed because it has to do with like an alien species and stuff. So
That sounds way more my thing. Anything
yeah,
even vaguely dystopian is like,
right.
sounds cool, going to make me a mess.
Yeah, like I mean, it does start with like basically nuclear war pretty much destroyed the world and this alien race picked up like they saved a bunch of people and it kind of follows what's happening there. It's
Okay.
not
But
so
like, that
yeah.
sounds distant, not like people
Yeah.
sitting coping with the.
No, no, no. They like
Yeah,
reference the war that it happened, but they don't really talk about it, if that makes sense.
that
So,
sounds cool.
but yeah,
Oh,
I binge read it in like a matter of days. Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I can, yeah, I can see that. Uh, I like so this. It's a trilogy, but it doesn't follow the exact same character throughout
Okay.
the whole thing. So like, it's called Lilith's Brood for a reason because you're kind of like
Ah,
follow her and then her children in the sequels. The final book in the trilogy I didn't like as much, but I think I still gave it like 4 stars. Yes, that's exactly what's happening, Amy.
okay. Well, that
um,
sounds interesting.
yeah, so it's a race and they trade, and what they trade in is genetics.
Oh, that
And
sounds cool.
yeah, so like they discover like human cancer cells and they're like, "Oh, we can work with this because human cancer cells just keep mutating and evolve like stuff like that."
Mm,
So that's what they find in humans that they want. And then basically what they do is every time they land on a new place, they merge the genetics that they've built and then with genetics that they choose to bring over from humans and like that's or from whatever race that they're on and they try to live they're building like better and better people,
that
but you
sounds
get a
cool.
lot of really weird interactions because you get people who adapt and come to terms with the idea, and then you get people who are adamant that this is terrible and it's not going to happen and they're going to find a way around it. And it's like really intense as far as human dynamics go.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I just got them from the library and it was one of those like one sitting type reads.
I love anything like that. So definitely gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, because I didn't want to start with Kindred, right? Because that's what everybody reads.
Sounds so heavy too. Like I'm sure it is an amazing book, but I don't know
I
if
don't
I
want
want
to
to
be
read
brought
it.
down. Look, I've read there's enough death in my reading currently. I need I need a break. And so I'm gonna go read Stalin's Meteorologist tomorrow.
And everyone knows there's nothing bad that could possibly happen there.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, because there is like so it's unsettling. It's unsettling because Octavia E. Butler really goes in on like it's not like sexually explicit, but she doesn't shy away from the fact that the alien species has a three gender system in which they parent in trios, not duos. And then they talk about like how sex works. And
That
it's
sounds cool.
it's really interesting. But it's one of those things that you maybe don't want to think about for too long, like or too deeply, because you're like, ew, I don't know. Ew, maybe.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but I think it's really cool. I love when authors create cultures that subvert gender norms that we have.
Absolutely, especially in science fiction when they're aliens. Like,
And they totally can because
yes,
yeah.
it's a different life form. Why would we expect it to
It's a,
conform to what we're
right, right.
used
So
to?
it's super cool. It's super cool. Yeah, I enjoyed that. That's funny. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to remember because like when I was 18, I don't think I was super open-minded. But I feel like it happened slowly over the years where I just started being like, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
it's none of my, like, I don't know. But yeah, you have to kind of be willing to just accept what's happening.
Okay.
But yeah, I will eventually I'll probably read the Peril, what is it, Earthseed? Is that what I saw it somewhere. I thought I was open-minded, but I lied. But yeah, I'll probably go to that over Kindred because I'll get there eventually, okay? But like everybody
It's a
reads
classic.
that.
It's always gonna be there.
Yeah. And like I've been using my library so heavily recently. Like they just made it so easy. I didn't even have to go in. I could just sign up for a library card online. They didn't need to verify my identity. They only need to do that if you're going to check out physical copies so they can like, get stuff back. But when it's e-copies, it just auto returns. But yeah, I've been like any book I think about, I just check it out and then I'm like, "Oh crap, I can't read all this in 21 days." Yeah, Earthseed. Okay. Yeah.
I need to renew our library cards. We do have to go in person because we've got this cool system here where for like $30 a year, our library card gets us access to like skis and canoes and like
What?
all sorts of outdoor stuff.
That is such
I
a Canadian
know.
thing.
I've never seen it anywhere else, but
Can they give you snowshoes?
I think so. Like
Probably.
it's an astounding list of stuff that
That's
like
really cool. See,
we have
that's worth
access
it to
to.
me, like the money and stuff,
Oh yeah. And I'm
because
also just feel like, I'm happy to pay $30 to be like, library, yes, keep doing cool
yes,
stuff. Keep doing stuff that's
yes.
gonna get people in the doors.
I'm trying to like we have the library, the Friends of the Library, they have a used book sale, but they have their own storefront for it called the Book
Cool.
Den. And I'm trying to like volunteer there, but I think they're just having because like with COVID and stuff, they're only open certain days, and then they weren't accepting any new volunteers, and now they are, and like it's a lot going on. But I'm trying to do that. I did. Oh man, I have a kayaking story. It's a kayaking
Oh, I
fair.
would love to hear.
So James and I, he had like a squadron function where this guy, he's just like an old guy that these people know, and he's super wealthy, and he like built himself this beautiful pond with a private beach, and it's huge, and he has like kayaks and like not like surfboards, but the other version
Like the stand-up paddle boards where you like stand. Yeah.
yes. And like he even has like this big weird like trampoline thing floating in there, like crazy stuff.
Fun.
So James was like, "Let's go kayaking. Let's go kayaking." I said, he didn't tell me that it was like a swimming in pond. I was just thinking like a gross pond where they had picnic tables, you know?
There.
So I didn't come dressed for that. I was just wearing like a dress, like a sundress or whatever. But he really wanted to go kayaking. I said, "Babe, those are one person kayaks. We cannot both go in them." And he's like, "No, we totally can. It'll be fine." I said, "There is no way." But he wore me down because that's what men do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, all right, fine. So I got in, and one, I immediately got wet because the seat was wet from people who used it before. But I was like, it's okay. It's okay. So then he climbs on, and he's like, we're paddling. It's going to be fine. I said, "Babe, I can see it starting to swamp. We're gonna. And sure enough, we get very little far out there, and we flip. And it's me. I had done my hair all nice because it was like I was meeting his coworkers for the first time, and I'm like underwater.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. That sounds awful. Like
And
hilarious after the fact, but like
I was
so
like, oh
stressful.
man, I had my contacts in my eyes,
Oh,
and then like people were like, "You knew, you kept telling him this wasn't gonna work. Why'd you go in?" I said, "Same reason we got married. He wore me down." uh, but yeah, so they've been like giving him hell about it for days. Like, she told you, and
good.
you forced her in, and you flipped her, and he's like, "No, I didn't dunk her. No, you totally dunked her." It's so funny. Oh, it took so long to dry, and I was like, "I'm not sitting in the sand because then I'm gonna be all sandy, and then I'm gonna have to get in
Mm-hmm.
my car."
Oh,
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I wasn't even like mad because I knew it was gonna happen, and I had like resigned myself to it.
Yeah, I mean that's the kind you laugh at afterwards, but
at the time I was like, son of a bitch. But it's fine. It's fine. It was a very nice pond area. So he even had like a tiki hut. He had bathrooms out there for like 2 bathroom setups for guys and girls. And then he had like this hut that was like screened in and stuff, so you could have food out there without flies and stuff getting into it.
that
And I
sounds
was
fantastic.
like, man, is he single? Shit.
Yeah, fair.
He's definitely not. He's so old. He could probably be my grandpa. But like, oh, it was fun though. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, no, I don't think they'll ever forget me now, which might be. It's fine. It's fine. But I was like, this is a terrible idea. I got a really interesting tan line that day though. Wait, can you? Maybe not. I don't think you can see it.
I can't quite see.
But yeah. I think I just am all tan in general right now. Oh, wait, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. I tan, but only in like the weirdest ways. Like if I sit outside just in the sun, nothing. If I try and cover up and like I burn easily, so I wear like swim leggings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course my feet get tanned. Or like when I was on vacation last week, I was sitting outside like mostly covered because it was cold, but holding my book. So like this part of my hand got more tanned.
Oh my god. That's how when we were up in Lake Tahoe, we were just sitting on this deck and I had my sweatpants on and they come up to like right above my ankle. So I have this beautiful tan line like right on my ankle.
Yeah.
And yes, Amy, this was last Sunday. It's only been a week. I'm still recovering. No. But yeah, no, I tan pretty okay because my dad is like half Sicilian.
Okay.
So like he's very olivey and like I look pretty fair, but once I darken up, I start getting like that olive undertone.
My mom and siblings tan like so easily, and my dad and I are just pink.
See, that's how my mom is. She's like actually almost allergic to the sun. Like she breaks out in hives and stuff. And my little sister is kind of she burns real bad and then she'll tan. But then my brother's like me where he just tans up real nicely. It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, it's a nice thing to not have to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like I can burn. About like 7 years ago, I spent a summer in Charleston, South Carolina, and with my friend and I, we went to the beach, and like we were like 22 or something like that. And so we didn't even think sunblock, and we were just out on the beach all day. And it was in tech school, right? So we still had to go to PT in the morning and like work out like with people. And it was one of those things where like we were like doing crunches and I could almost hear my back like creaking. It was so bad. Oh, it was good times though.
I might have told the story before, I can't remember. I got a really bad burn on my back when I was around that age. Long story. I arrived in Hawaii at like 6 o'clock in the morning after being awake for like 36 hours.
Oh my God.
And thought, oh, I'll just drop my bags at the hotel because I can't check in yet. And I'm just going to go like hang out on the beach. But I was like, I don't feel like putting sunscreen on. I'll just lie here for 15 minutes. And then I'm going to go sit in the shade so I don't have to like try and slather my back in sunscreen. Yeah. I fell asleep. Face down.
Oh my God.
My mom arrived that evening and I was just like, help. I need aloe vera. Help. This is...
Oh, I feel like it was one of those where you're like almost blistering. Like it's so... No.
Oh, it was so bad.
Horrifying.
Well, this has been really fun. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you to everyone who joined in the chat. This was excellent. And next time I'll know to schedule something longer because 2 hours did not feel like so long.
Just like that.
Do I let anyone know where they can find you? assume everyone
Oh,
already knows, and it should be in the link, but
probably, but I can be found on YouTube at Katie Reads and Rants, because that's what I do in all aspects of life. And then, like, if you want to find me on Goodreads or Storygraph or whatever, my links are always in the description boxes of my videos. So thank
excellent.
you. Thank you for having me, Rosie. This has been a lot of
Thank
fun.
you for coming. It's been great. And I guess it's still pretty early for you, so have a great rest of your Sunday.
Thanks. You too.
Thanks. All right. Bye.
Bye.